Hello everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. It's time once more for the royal news, and this is for the week around March the 3rd, 2025. It is for the week around March the 3rd, 2025. The first story comes from the Daily Express and is dated March the 2nd, 2025. King Charles's new dog breed will not be for everybody, expert warns. And this is by Michael Moran, features writer. With the news that King Charles has been gifted an adorable legato puppy, the relatively uncommon Italian truffle hunting is likely to see an interest among dog lovers and royal fans alike. But the curly-coated pup, which can reach a maximum height of around 20 inches, won't be the right choice for everyone, warns a Kennel Club expert. Kennel Club spokesperson Bill Lambert says that while the legato Romagnolo and other breeds made famous by celebrities and influencers can be fantastic family pets for some, they will not be suitable for everybody. Bill explains the legato Romagnolo is a wonderful breed and seems to be very well suited to His Majesty, the King, who enjoys truffle hunting and an active lifestyle, which this breed is perfectly suited for. Because the King is fit and active 76-year-old, he's in a position to care properly for snuff, but a legato wouldn't be suitable for a less active owner. Bill adds, the striking breed, which is not numerous in this country, was crowned as winner of Crufts in 2023, and we saw its popularity reach peak levels at that time. Cruft wins generally have a limited impact on breed popularity, but in smaller and lesser-known breeds, it can raise profile and awareness. It's highly likely that Snuff's arrival in the royal household will boost interest in the breed, as the late Queen's Pembrokeshire Corgi famously peaked in popularity at key moments in the spotlight, such as after coronation and following its moment in the TV series The Crown. He added, we urge would-be owners to remember that research really is the king when looking for a breed of dog. And if people want to find out more about this breed or any of the other 200 dog breeds in the UK, then Crufts, with its unique Discover Dog Zone, takes place next week, where people can talk to experts and meet and greet the huge variety of breeds in this country. The legato reached its peak popularity in the UK in 2023, the same year as it was crowned Best in Show winner at Crufts, with Kennel Club figures showing that some 327 puppies were registered. By contrast, the Pembrokeshire Welsh Corgi famously jumped by 56% in popularity the year after being welcomed into the royal fold, and puppy registrations peaked around 9,000 in 1960, 7 years after the Queen's coronation. Our second story comes from The Sun and is dated February the 28th, 2025. Terrifying behavior from China links to Epstein. Prince Andrew is a huge worry for royals. Give him a one-way ticket to U.S. This story is by Matt Wilkinson and Annabelle Bate. Prince Andrew represents a huge worry for the royal family and should get a one-way ticket to the U.S., an expert claims. Newsweek's royal editor Jack Royston told the Sun's royal editor Matt Wilkinson on the Royal Exclusive show that the Duke is a cause for concern for Charles. Andrew's scandals in the last few years have made the royal family see him as a huge worry. Questions still loom around Andrew and his friendship with Epstein, which he should be answering, Newsweek's royal editor Jack Royston explained. I think he should have given a deposition to the FBI. They weren't even trying to speak to him as a suspect. They wanted to speak to him as a witness. It was the least he could have done. The prince paid millions to Epstein's victim, Virginia Giuffre, in an out-of-court settlement 3 years ago, while denying sexual assault accusations. In 2020, the FBI asked the Home Office to help quiz Andrew. That investigation was paused last year. In late January, the High Court files revealed Andrew emailed Epstein in February 2011 saying, we'll play some more soon. But in his BBC Newsnight interview, Andrew said he ceased contact with Epstein in December 2010 after they were pictured in New York. Mr. Coven said, victims have always wanted everyone involved in Epstein's circle to be fully prosecuted. That includes any powerful person. Jack also delved into the trouble Andrew may be bringing to the king, especially after his recent scrutiny for being friends with alleged Chinese spy Yang Tingbo. During a tribunal hearing, judges concluded that Yang had not been honest about his links to the Chinese state. It could exploit his relationship with the Duke and other public figures. Jack said he's now bringing more pressure and more concern for Charles with his relationship with his Chinese alleged spy, Yang Tangbo, who obviously denies being a spy. And we're now getting more and more stories coming out about where Andrew is getting his money from, which suggests that Yang Tangbo might have been on the thin edge of the wedge. The editor also expresses Charles's worry that extends to spending too, with the king having to think about where Andrew could be allegedly sourcing his income. Jack added, for Charles, obviously, Andrew's going to need money if he's going to stay at Royal Lodge for the rest of his life. He's going to need money, major amounts of money for the rest of his life. And if I was Charles, I'd be very concerned about where that money's coming from. Because if he's willing to become a close confidant of a guy who basically the British think is a Chinese spy, who's asking him to smuggle people in and out past security unseen, who's clearly trying to foster a particular type of relationship that has rule-breaking sewn into it, I mean, that is obviously the behavior of somebody who's trying to cultivate a source, an asset, a contact. I would be very worried about Andrew's situation if I was Charles. Andrew was said to be too scared to visit the U.S. again amid fresh calls from the FBI probe into scandals surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. The Duke of York fears he may be arrested after revelations in the court documents prompted calls for a new criminal investigation. President Donald Trump's pick to be FBI director has vowed to do everything to expose accomplices of late pedophile Epstein. And a lawyer for the victim says the UK government should turn him over for questioning. A pal of the prince said he's terrified if he goes to America he could be arrested, face civil action, or be subpoenaed. He used to be Air Miles Andy, but he'll never risk going to America again. Since the whole thing blew up, he's only been in Bahrain, where he has friends, and there hasn't been a single golf trip to Spain or a holiday abroad. Spencer Coven, U.S. lawyer for many of Epstein's victims, said the British monarchy should be embarrassed. He should be fully separated from the monarchy, and the public should never be subsidizing someone who has either such bad judgment to be friends with this man or could have been involved with him. The president should require his new FBI director to fully investigate Andrew's conduct. The final story comes from The Sun, and it's dated March the 3rd, 2025. Zelensky meets King Charles just days after bust-up with Trump as UK stands shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine. King Charles warmly received Vladimir Zelensky at Sandringham 48 hours after his bust-up with Donald Trump. The monarch's meeting with the Ukraine president comes amid worrying transatlantic diplomatic tensions caused by Friday's stunning Oval Office row. And it comes only days after Trump accepted an invite from the king for an unprecedented second state visit, with the U.S. president hailing Charles as a wonderful man. The monarch greeted President Zelensky on the steps of Sandringham this evening. A military helicopter carrying Ukrainian leader had been seen descending over the estate around 5:25 p.m. Their meeting lasted just under 1 hour. Charles had previously given his wholesale support to President Zelensky, saying Ukraine has witnessed indescribable aggression following unprovoked attack on their land. Zelensky landed in the UK on Saturday ahead of a defense summit with European leaders hosted by Prime Minister Keir Starmer at Lancaster House, London today. He said, "I'm very happy that His Majesty the King has accepted my meeting tomorrow." The pair met previously during Mr. Zelensky's surprise visit to the UK in February 2023, when the king told him, "We've all been worried about you and thinking about your country for so long." A spokesman for the Ukrainian president said tomorrow, Sunday, there will be a series of bilateral meetings, including one with King Charles III and the European leaders meeting on supporting Ukraine. Sir Starmer promised Britain's full backing. And highly emotional scenes, crowds lined the streets and cheered him, while the Prime Minister wrapped him in a bear hug as the pair met for crunch talks. He said, "You have the full backing across the United Kingdom, and we have full backing for Ukraine, for as long as it takes." The Ukrainian president said, "With pleasure. Thank you very much, Keir, Mr. Prime Minister. I'm happy to be here. Really, I saw a lot of people and want to thank you, people of the United Kingdom. Such a big support from the very beginning of this war. Thank you, your team." He said he was very happy in the UK and looking forward to a summit with European leaders tomorrow. We're happy and count on your support and really have been such partners, he added. Meanwhile, insiders revealed the royal welcome between King Charles and the Ukrainian leader was being planned before Trump and Zelensky clashed in the front of the world's cameras and insisted it's not a reaction to the row. One said Zelensky was always due to be in the UK this weekend, and so a meeting with the king was penciled in. Other insiders point out that although Charles and Zelensky have a close friendship, all meetings between world leaders are organized and signed off by the Foreign Office and the government. It is not known what the pair will discuss, but it's been a tumultuous and shocking couple of days accumulating in Trump and Zelensky's angry exchange in Washington, D.C. on Friday. Just 24 hours earlier, Trump accepted an invite from Charles for an unprecedented second state visit and described the king as a wonderful man. Starmer had been hailed for delivering a diplomatic masterclass during his face-off with Trump in the White House on Thursday. It comes as Sir Keir Starmer doubled down on the UK's support for Ukraine and revealed a crucial European plans to help stop the war at a press conference this evening. Western leaders had spent the afternoon gathered in London for a major meeting hosted by Starmer and Zelensky to help forge together a peace plan. The Prime Minister announced a $1.6 billion loan to fund the 5,000 missiles for Ukraine as he continued to back Ukraine as strongly as he could. The move has been praised by many as a key way of allowing Ukraine to stay in the fight against Vladimir Putin's Russia in order to give more time for a peace deal to be agreed. And Defense Secretary John Healey spoke on the deal and said, "It comes at a critical moment for the future of Ukraine and the security of Europe." He said, "We all want secure and lasting peace. As today's meeting has showed, the UK will continue to lead international efforts to support Ukraine in securing a ceasefire and durable peace. And we will not jeopardize the peace by forgetting about the war. This new such support will help protect Ukraine against drone and missile attacks, and will also help deter further Russian aggression following any end of the fighting. This new deal delivers on the UK's ironclad commitment to step up military support for Ukraine whilst boosting jobs and growth at home." Sir Keir Starmer also added the purpose of today's key summit with fellow leaders was to unite our partners and help to strengthen Ukraine and to support a just and enduring peace. The Labour leader said the UK, France, and others involved with today's conversations agreed to come up with a European-led plan to find a secure resolution to the conflict. He said any idea will be talked through with European leaders before being sent to the U.S. for further discussions. The Prime Minister also insisted the UK is prepared to back this with boots on the ground and planes in the air, but noted that this effort must have strong U.S. backing. He went on to say, "We're working with the U.S. on this point. We agree with the President on the urgent need for a durable peace. Now we need to deliver together." More than a dozen leaders from key European countries gathered at the summit earlier today, including from France, Germany, Denmark, and Finland. Presidents of the European Council, European Commission, and NATO Secretary General were also in attendance. They all sat down with hopes of hammering out a peace plan to present to President Donald Trump. Dominating the talks was also the issue of restoring relations between Ukraine and the U.S. after Trump's sensational put-down of Zelensky on Friday. EU leaders flocked to support Zelensky following the showdown, reaffirming their commitment to reaching a lasting peace. The PM has spoken with Donald Trump multiple times over the past couple of days, and as he said, he wants to bridge the rift between the U.S. and the Ukraine. So that is all the news that I have for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. And more importantly, I wish everybody a great day, and tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.